I think Disney's gonna ban me for this one. Do not have a child, nor have I ever been married. I am not stalking my imaginary ex-wife or anyone.
Honest, Shelbert. Or do you enjoy yours?
Lily Tino's TikTok origin story couldn't have looked more wholesome. In November 2022, she appeared in softly lit bedroom vlogs, documenting laser sessions, hormone pill unboxings, and first mall trips in girl mode. Viewers, many also wrestling with gender questions, found comfort in a streamer who laughed through awkward voice cracks and filmed every milestone.
I got my cake pops removed, but now it's time to turn my candy cane into a donut. After the procedure is done, I will stay in the hospital for about a week. And while I'm there, they will pack my freshly made donut with napkins.
By early 2023, she'd rocketed past 400,000 followers, boosted by TikTok's trans in transition sub-community hashtags. The secret sauce wasn't fancy editing, it was closeness. She answered comments at 2 a.m., confessed when dysphoria hit at Starbucks, and built an ever-open Discord server labeled Luna's Safe Space. In that honeymoon phase, she looked like the next Jazz Jennings, part educator, part diary keeper. Then came June 2023 Pride Month and one clumsy "Good morning, sir" from a barista. Lily live-streamed her hurt in real time, tearing up on the sidewalk, and the clip tore through algorithmic strata faster than any makeup tutorial she'd posted. Sympathy poured in, until replay watchers noticed something odd. She had returned to the counter, pointed a phone inches from the barista's face, and demanded, "Why did you call me that?" Suddenly, the viral energy flipped from empathy to unease. Commenters replayed her dramatic gasp, the tremble that seemed rehearsed. More misgender videos followed like episodic TV, airline gate agents, drive-through cashiers, a Goodwill clerk.
I have been misgendered 3 times in the past 24 hours at restaurants. Last night, I was at Benihana with my girlfriend, and the server said, "What about you, sir? What would you like to eat?" My girlfriend, God bless her heart, steps in, says, "Actually, that's ma'am." And she looks at my girlfriend and didn't really understand what had happened and said, "No, I'm talking to him," pointing at me. Our jaws were on the floor, and we decided to leave because it was just a bad vibe after that. And just a few minutes ago, I was at another restaurant for lunch, and they showed me my seat and said, "Here you go, sir." And I said, "I am not a sir." And then I left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. And I went to a new restaurant, and I asked, "Before I sit down, where's the bathroom, please?" And they said, "Oh, it's right this way, sir." And I just left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. If you're a server in the food industry, you don't need to use words like sir or ma'am. There are ways to be respectful without using those words. And if you get it wrong for someone like me, I will probably leave the restaurant. And it puts like a bad vibe on my day when it happens, especially when it happens 3 times in a row.
Every new confrontation scored higher numbers, each title spicier than the last. The pattern was set. Everyday friction filmed as public justice, driving Lily's reach into the millions, and planting the first seeds of public suspicion.
At a glance, you wouldn't know I was trans. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. I could let them know. I don't know. I guess. I apologize. Thank you so much. I sent back the bread service because I got misgendered by the person who set the bread down, and it just kind of killed the mood. Would it be possible to have that removed?
Let me talk to my manager.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But a Starbucks lobby is nothing compared with the family kingdom Lily chose next, and the stunt that would brand her the queen of rage bait. Lily's misgender saga crystallized July 2023 in a 40 million view clip, now known simply as the Sir video. She orders a latte. The flustered teen behind the bar slips "Sir" into the handoff call, apologizes on the spot. Yet Lily swings the phone around, trembles, and tells 40,000 live viewers it felt like a knife in the heart. She then drags a manager from the back, demands corporate training, and posts the coffee shop's full storefront name so followers can let them know. Why did this one ignite? First, it followed a perfected rage bait formula. 1. Record in portrait mode, face half frame for intimacy. 2. Insert a relatable trigger, misgendering hurts. 3. Escalate beyond proportional response. 4. Conclude with moral lesson and a store logo. Viewers split. Some cheered. Normalize correcting pronouns. Others saw weaponized victimhood. reaction channels stitched side-by-side breakdowns of Lily's tear timing. Redditor.
Can you call me sir? Hey, I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
What?
Call me sir.
Oh. That's
Just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that.
Redditors tracked her posting cadence and claimed misgender clips always debuted when follower growth plateaued. Comment historians even labeled her Karen of pronouns. Each culture war share, even hate views, pumped the algorithm that punishes scroll-off but rewards comments, positive or furious. Lily doubled down, calling the skeptical side undercover transphobes. The phrase stuck, instantly polarizing any neutral commenter. Ironically, the more detractors engaged, the wider her reach grew. A cycle textbook social media researchers now cite when explaining outrage farming.
You're not wrong, Maya. I agree with what you said. That doesn't, mistakes can hurt though. You know, have you ever made a mistake that hurt someone? Doesn't mean you meant to. It still happened though. Yeah, generally I've had good experiences here. You know, a couple times here and there. There are a lot of employees. But yeah. It happens, I guess. It shouldn't happen, but it does. But when it does, I can leave. And do, and will. I will. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, if you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be like, oh, it was an accident, of course. No problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone. No, that's not how it works. We have feelings, we're humans. Oh, totally, Elaine. We'll rebound from this.
Victims were caught in the crossfire. Minimum wage workers with doxed names, Yelp pages flooded with one-star revenge reviews. Lily would later insist she never asked fans to harass, but by posting full storefront shots, she fired the starting pistol. And every apology video she uploaded, enough tearful pauses to stretch into a fresh FYP push. What began as real pain turned, step by step, into a monetized format. One that would prime audiences for her next, even louder headline. And headline she did, by taking cake pops to the happiest place on earth.
Got my cake pops removed, but now it's time to turn my candy cane into a donut. After the procedure is done, I will stay in the hospital for about a week. And while I'm there, they will pack my freshly made donut with napkins.
Late September 2023. Lily cues outside Space Mountain in sequined mouse ears, phone held aloft. Smiling families swirl behind her when she whispers,
I think Disney's gonna ban me for this one.
Then she launches into surgical talk. Last summer, she had the cake pops removed, debating whether to turn the cake pop stick into a donut. Euphemisms aside, she's explaining genital procedures in a park line packed with children.
Even sure that everything sets in place and the donut doesn't close in on itself. After about a week, they will remove the napkin and send me home with instructions to dilate. Dilating serves the same purpose as the napkin, making sure that the donut doesn't close in on itself. Just instead of using the napkins, you use a plastic candy cane or dilator that you place inside of the donut for 20 minutes, 3 times a day.
Even loyal fans cringed at the setting. Yet Lily's grin telegraphed purpose. She knew outrage was imminent. Within hours, conservative Twitter clipped her intro, liberal TikTok duetted condemnation, and mainstream tabloids wrote, trans influencer discusses private surgery at Disneyland. Critics hit 2 fronts. Parents decried forced exposure of intimate content. Trans creators argued the stunt handed ammo to lawmakers pushing bathroom bans. The New York Post op-ed called the video, "Everything wrong with this selfish movement." Lily's livestream apology did nothing to cool flames. She chuckled that she should have made more and compared discussing vaginoplasty to an old man chatting hip replacement surgery. Commenters felt gaslit. Disneyland, pressed for a statement, reiterated guest filming policies but issued no ban, giving culture war pundits fresh fuel. Why does Disney allow this? Algorithmically, the gamble paid dividends, follower count leapt, but reputationally, cracks widened. Some brand sponsors quietly paused deals, yet Lily seemed thrilled, ending one stream. 500,000 live views on a Tuesday. She'd proven family venues plus intimate talk equals viral velocity. That equation alarmed fellow trans influencers, who pleaded privately, please separate PG and adult audiences. Lily's answer was to film a new series, aimed directly at preschoolers. Because what drives watch time better than controversy adjacent to children's content?
You Need to Chill by Juno Dawson. Sometimes people say to me, what happened to your brother Bill? We haven't seen him in ages. Is he hiding? Is he ill? Is he lost in the park? Is he scared of the dark? Is he doing his homework still? That's when I look at them in the eye and say, hey, you need to chill.
January 2024. Lily uploads a pastel backdropped video, bright toy blocks spelling pronouns. In chipper cadence, she asks kids to close eyes, decide boy, girl, or a little of both, then reassures,
There are no hungry whales and no green little men. Your hysteria is silly. The truth is that my brother Bill, big reveal, is now my sister, Lily. I know.
if everyone calls you something else, that might feel sad. That means you could be transgender. She encourages 4-year-olds to correct adults firmly, then plugs a follow-up pronoun practice series. TikTok algorithm tagged it number learn on TikTok. Views soared. Meanwhile, the same profile page showcased explicit OnlyFans snippets, complete with pinned discount codes. Parents stumbled into cross-traffic, nursery tone lessons, and moaning audio edits separated by 2 swipes. Critics pounced. Where Miss Rachel teaches ABCs, Lily taught medical terms wrapped in dessert metaphors, and kids could end up one wrong tap away from adult content. Fellow trans educator Vegas, 300K followers, stitched, teach? Sure, but not next to your OF teaser. Bianca, another trans mom vlogger, demanded platform segregation. Lily responded, sex positivity isn't shameful. Cis women do bikini hauls next to parenting tips. The rebuttal missed nuance. Those creators mark pages 18 plus or use separate accounts. Child safety watchdogs emailed TikTok. Nothing happened beyond age-gate reminders. Worse, Lily integrated emotional pressure. If you're a grown-up and don't affirm, kids might feel like life isn't worth living. Clinical psychologists blasted the tactic as manipulative fear. Lily framed pushback as denial of trans existence and used duets to name and shame dissenters, prompting dogpile comments. Her series remained live, but collateral damage mounted. Teachers saw copies in classroom shares, fueling school board showdowns over pronoun indoctrination. Controversy fatigue should have slowed her momentum, yet Lily found a new lever, rewriting music history. Spring 2024. Lily posts a 2-minute claim. Bet you didn't know Kurt Cobain was probably trans.
I bet you didn't know that Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Here's
Evidence? He wore dresses, felt comfy in them, and an early lyric draft said, "Let me grow some." She linked Cobain's suicide to struggles with gender identity and tossed Abraham Lincoln into the mix. He had male partners. Let's be real. He was queer. Music fans and historians recoiled. Nirvana subreddit threads hit 5,000 comments in 24 hours. Francis Bean Cobain's representative called the video gross speculation. Reaction channels dissected the logic gap between gender non-conformity and dysphoria. Lily doubled down in response. Is it so disrespectful? We assume people are cis every day. She argued no harm if wrong, huge insight if right. Ignoring that rebranding a dead man's identity without evidence still impacts legacy and family. The discourse spilled to mainstream music press, labeling Lily a TikTok revisionist. Why make the leap? View boost. Hashtags. Kurt was trans and trans Cobain spiked. Lily's follower chart ticked upward. Each duet, whether debunk or support, drove traffic back to the source. Observers now recognized Lily's playbook. Drop a lightning rod theory, wait for stitches, harvest analytics. But the Cobain fiasco strained goodwill inside the trans creator circle, some publicly blocking Lily to signal distance. Yet Lily wasn't done challenging biology. Next, she promised the future of pregnancy itself. Early summer 2024, Lily films a confident monologue. 50 babies have been born from uterus transplants. Science is ready, we just need surgeons. Hormone levels? Mine mirror cis women's. So why not? She envisions using her DNA with her partner's egg to conceive. Comments erupted. That's not how genetics works. OBGYN TikTok, including transplant researchers, stitched that current transplants rely on cis anatomy. Applying to trans women is decades away, requiring vascular and skeletal changes plus lifelong immunosuppressants. Lily labels critics gatekeepers, framing the procedure as inevitable progress akin to IVF backlash in the 70s. Medical experts counter with ethical and safety hurdles, but nuance loses to viral momentum. Pro-Lily users spam uterus emojis. Skeptics cite maternal fetal risk. The algorithm reads debate as engagement, win-win for reach. However, fertility clinics receiving email floods from desperate fans beg Lily to clarify. She posts a half-hearted disclaimer, not a doctor, just excited, yet leaves the original upbeat claims untouched. Journalists covering trans health accuse her of spreading false hope. Trans activists lament that wild overpromises set the movement up for, see, their delusional punchlines. Meanwhile, politicians in 2 U.S. states cite the clip while proposing bans on Medicaid coverage for experimental trans procedures. Lily's dream pitch ping-ponged into legislative fodder, and still her most personal controversy was brewing in private DMS, about to burst into public view.
I'd like to start with some context about Colleen and I's relationship before all this happened. So last April, I was going through a really tough time, something that actually I learned Colleen had also gone through before. She reached out, was really supportive, really nice, and honestly, her support was one of the reasons that I was able to pick myself back up and start creating again. From there, Colleen and her partner were super involved in our community. It was great to have them. Over time, we became friends, and like any friend, I would always post something nice in her comment section. I didn't have a crush on her. I was just a friend from the fan section saying, "Go Colleen." Now, independent of Colleen, I recently decided to start making a new kind of content. One of the things that I thought would be helpful to kickstart that effort would be to collaborate with people in the same space. Colleen is in that space. For the record, collaborations are super common among any kind of social media creator, be it this kind of content or other kinds of content. I'd encourage you to think about all the times you've seen 2 content creators come together to partner on a video. It happens all the time. And since I've been wanting to go to Vegas a lot on my own, I figured it would be cool, 2 birds with 1 stone, get a couple friends, go down, do fun stuff, and also make it a little more worth our while, do some collaboration on content.
August 2024, mid-heatwave, fellow trans TikToker Cobain uploads a trembling confession. Lily pressed me with my wife beside me to fly to Vegas and shoot explicit content. Kali explains she declined due to Canadian work permit limits and monogamy, but Lily persisted on video call promising mutually beneficial revenue. Kali's wife DM'd Lily demanding a stop. Lily kept pushing for a timeline. 2 weeks later, Kali posts receipts, plus another alleged victim, Cassie, citing stalking and coercion. Lily's response video frames Kali as clout chasing. I asked once, she said no, I moved on. She nitpicks timeline inconsistencies, labels the claim something out of nothing, and insists a private chat would have resolved things.
Immediately said, "Actually, I'm monogamous." Now, to be clear, as soon as she said no, I said, "Okay, no problem," and we moved on. Colleen in her videos has made it out to be like I dragged it on, like I was pushing her and pulling her and trying to get her to do this collaboration, when in reality, all I said was, "Okay, no problem, totally fine." At that very moment, my internal monologue was, okay, Colleen doesn't want to do this. Who else would want to do this? And I moved on from the situation entirely. I didn't know that this was something that bothered Colleen or her partner. They did not tell me that it bothered them until weeks later when I received a DM from her partner, which Colleen also mentioned in her video. I immediately apologized over Discord message. I never got a response, and the next day they posted the video. Now, Colleen talked a lot about our conversation on her citizenship. Colleen is an American citizen who lives in Canada currently and is working towards her Canadian citizenship. She told me that she can't leave Canada right now because that would interfere with her Canadian citizenship. I, as her friend, was just curious why that was. It sounds like Colleen interpreted that as me trying to push and pull her towards this content, when in reality, I wasn't even thinking about Las Vegas anymore. I wish I could show you the video call to prove what I'm saying, but sadly, Discord doesn't store any video calls on their end. To recap, I never had a crush on Colleen. I saw her as a friend. I asked her if she and her partner wanted to come to Vegas. She said no. I said okay and moved on. This whole situation information is something out of nothing. And the saddest thing is that people will believe what she's saying just because they don't like me and they want it to be true. I would have much rather dealt with this personally, one-on-one, but she didn't allow for that to happen. So here I am, speaking my piece. Thank you.
Critics point out power imbalance. Lily, million-follower star with OnlyFans brand, inviting a smaller creator to what she calls a work trip that morphs into porn. Kali retorts that Lily ignored boundaries, then downplayed discomfort. The story fractures trans TikTok. Some rally to Kali, sharing anecdotes of Lily's pushiness in DMS. Others defend Lily, citing lack of legal complaint. YouTube commentary channels mine the saga, pulling Discord screenshots where Lily allegedly jokes about grooming fans for Vegas collabs. The narrative fits a pattern. Lily framing every pushback as enemy attack, refusing introspection, escalating drama for views. Sponsors flee. Even queer apparel brand Prism pulls merchandise. Yet Lily's OnlyFans spikes new subs, controversy feeding revenue again. Which brings us to the broader cost, far beyond Lily's personal brand. By autumn 2024, Lily's name triggers eye rolls across queer spaces. Trans educators Vegas and Bianca post farewell statements. I'm blocking Lily because her clout tactics hand transphobes easy ammo. TikTok #$ trans creators, not Lily trends. Even modest voices worry her theatrics overshadow real advocacy. Reddit threads weigh if she's a troll, narcissist, or simply addicted to algorithm dopamine. Some diagnose Munchausen by algorithm, provoking harm to showcase pain. Data reflect backlash. Lily's average live viewer count dropped 60%. Comment sections once filled with heart emojis now split between stalwart Lily lifers and stop feeding the trolls. Yet every time numbers sag, she hints at a new reveal. Medical update dropping tonight, and curiosity lures watchers back. Critics call it an outrage Ponzi scheme. Early believers bankroll successive scandals until the pyramid collapses. The wider impact is tangible. Teachers report parents citing Lily videos to oppose inclusive lesson plans. A Florida bill restricting LGBTQ+ content in family venues quotes the Disneyland clip. Lily insists responsibility ends with viewers. Activists counter that platform power brings duty. In December 2024, TikTok silently age-gates her account. She pivots to YouTube, planning a docu-series titled Hated My Fight for Truth. Trailers show montage of misgender showdowns over solemn piano chords, still monetizing each wound. Whether the series succeeds or fizzles, the lesson persists. Algorithms reward intensity, not integrity. One creator's quest for ever bigger shockwaves can wash an entire community in collateral tides. Lily Tino's saga isn't just influencer melodrama. It's a case study in how social platforms transform genuine pain into marketable outrage. The cost isn't measured in follower graphs, but in public trust eroded, store clerks doxxed, and hard-won progress framed as circus. As long as clicks outrank conscience, the next lightning rod personality is waiting in your FYP. The real question isn't whether Lily will learn, it's whether we'll keep swiping.